else? Okay, guys. All right, thanks for coming out. We'll just talk through injury report thing. Trevor Payne was the DMP with the toe. We had 4 limited guys: Christian Boyd with the hand, Jordan Howden with the oblique, Alante with the groin, and then Chase Young with the calf. So, limited guys were all able to do some part of practice, so they're heading in the right direction, and we'll see how all that stuff transpires. Other than that, we had a padded practice today. It was really good work for our guys. We were inside. I thought it was a really good Wednesday.
When did Chase hurt his calf?
Just had a little something come up in the game, or in practice, excuse me. So.
What did it mean for Alante to be out there?
Yeah, progress. I think that's the biggest thing. Progress. He's worked his tail off the last few weeks, and so we'll just let this whole week kind of play itself out.
Anything you can say about Trevor Penning and where his status stands now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he wasn't able to practice today, and so we'll see how that transpires. But he's done a nice job, and he's doing everything he can.
Obviously, the biggest thing Sunday is the win, but big picture, what 2 or 3 things are you looking to see out of this group for the first time?
That's a really good question. Obviously, ultimately, we know what the goal is, and that's the most important aspect of it. I think our play style is really important, that we play, the way we've emphasized all offseason. The fundamentals show up in week 1. So I think that's one of the biggest things is just the fundamentals, the details, the tackling out in space, in a full live game, the blocking, the communication, so many of those things come up. And so, you're going to have to handle that. And it's a week 1 game. One thing we talked about is there's an element of unknown in week 1s. We get a whole offseason, they get a whole offseason. Will they run something that we haven't seen? Yes. Will we run something they haven't seen? Yes. And so that's part of what week 1 looks like.
What went into adding Jake back to the active roster?
Just roster flexibility. Kind of gives us a potential, emergency QB for this week with the 3rd spot, the way the rules are structured. And so we'll see how this week progresses. And, that 3rd QB spot's always a little bit of a tricky one from my experience, just the way the 53-man roster works. And sometimes it's available, sometimes it's not.
Off the football field, how would you describe Spencer Rattler? But not his play on the field at all, but just as a person. What has he been like for you to deal with and get to know? How would you describe him?
Yeah, no, he's just been great. He's really steady. I think he's got some calm, smooth confidence to him that's really fun, and you feel it. There's a vibe to him each and every day as he walks around and handles himself throughout the day. And so, he's just done an awesome job of acclimating himself to all these guys on this team, putting himself in a really good position to lead us.
How much do you think the fact that he doesn't have to look over his shoulder after every play and whatnot, how much do you think that could be beneficial for his development?
Yeah, with quarterbacks, I think that's a really important aspect of this thing. We're excited to see him go out there and play and lead us, and he's going to play really, really well. And so, we have all the confidence in the world with him, and, that's about letting him just go do his thing.
When you're going against a guy like Buda Baker, it's like identifying where he's at, on every play. What are you guys?
Yeah, that's a big part of their defense, and it's a huge advantage for them the way he plays. His ability to make plays maybe within structure and at times out of structure. He's going to make some plays just simply because of his high football IQ, his ability to recognize things and make plays that way. And so we just got to do a really good job. We got to communicate at a high level. I think that's the biggest thing. You got to be able to communicate with different adjustments, even at the line of scrimmage based off where he's at. And so it'll be a fun challenge for all of our guys to be together.
Of all the teams that named captains, you guys are the only one who didn't name the quarterback, but that's part of that group. What did you make of it?
I didn't make much out of it. Our guys voted on it. Those were the top 8, and we went with it. Obviously, the quarterback's gone through a competition, and I think our guys just feel great about that entire room there. Spence has done an awesome job. I don't think you have to have a C to lead. We got some really good veteran players who've been here for a long time. I think they've kind of earned their way into those leadership roles, and so you can certainly see the experience with those players that were voted as captains.
What have you just noticed about Spencer from a leadership perspective?
Yeah, I think he just does a really good job. He's steady. I think that's the biggest thing. He's steady. High plays, low plays, mistake here, really good decision. He's just kind of the same guy each and every play, and I think the way he responds to all those situations is what's going to lead him into really good success for us.
What do you think is just because we mentioned earlier the 3rd QB or the emergency QB situation, what do you think is the future of that in the NFL? Because it seems like some coaches are wondering whether we even need it.
It's really a luxury at times, and obviously, most of history in the NFL, it hasn't drastically impacted games until a couple years ago with San Francisco in the NFC Championship, and that probably shifted a lot of focuses just because of the prominent moment that was. They had a couple injuries and they didn't have a third available, and so I think it's a luxury, and when it's available to us, certainly we want to utilize it as much as you can, just because it gives you the insurance policy that you need. And then at other times when it's not available, you got to have the creativity on your roster to provide some depth that gets you through if you fall into that situation.
Just to clarify, Chase Young suffered an injury during today's practice.
He just had a little something today. Yeah.
Today was
Yeah. He just had a little something today. Yep.
What stands out going against a Brandon Staley defense? What, as a game planner, what's he throw at you that makes it difficult?
Versatility shows up. I think their preparation shows up. He's going to have this group really dialed and recognizing what you do best. And I think he does a good job of taking that away and putting you in some some challenging situations because of that. So I think our guys do an excellent job with their prep this week as well.
With having only seen Alvin Kamara for one snap in the preseason, can you describe a little bit about what you've seen from him in the run game during practices that maybe built some confidence in that part of the approach to the game?
I'd just say explosive player. You still see it each and every time. When he sees it and he makes a cut, it's explosive and it turns into big plays. And I think that's always been his superpower in the run game, is his ability to make that cut, make that decisive cut, and go make big plays. And in the passing game, he's continued to show that, that's again another valuable piece to him.
And how do you, obviously it changed with Gates, but how do you expect to kind of approach things like running back by committee versus a workhorse back? You've done different things at different places.
Yeah, week by week it'll probably be different, and that's how the beauty of the NFL seasons are. Alvin's our starting running back for a reason, so he's certainly going to get a healthy bulk of this thing, and so our other guys are ready, and when the opportunity presents itself, they'll handle it really well.
How has Spencer's preparation process been this week of, going through situational football with Arizona's defense and whatnot? How has that all been for you and him?
Yeah, Spencer's preparation's been great, and I think for all of our guys, this is a full week, and so it's Wednesday. Sunday we'll get here. It's a part of take this thing day by day. There's a practice today. They're tired. It was a padded practice, and there's a physical component to that, and so you got to recover. And the biggest thing is don't be chasing Sunday. Right now, get through this week. Embrace each day. Kind of enjoy the journey as you go through this week, and then we'll be ready when we go.
Getting Jake on the 53, is that about the third quarterback, or were you just looking to get him back on the roster?
Yeah, certainly the third quarterback thing provides us with flexibility, and there's a very fluid part to this roster, and so when it's available to us, obviously we'd love to keep it, and we'll see how it goes.
How are they able to kind of like dictate some stuff with the way they use their tight ends?
Yeah, offensively, obviously there are multiple tight ends set. They play with those guys. They got pretty good defined roles that utilize really good strengths for these guys. I think they got one of the best tight end groups in the entire league. Just the depth that they have with those guys, and so they're able to do a number of things. They're able to play the space game with three tight ends in the game. They're able to get big and heavy and kind of play the heavy run game, and so it presents a lot of challenges just because it's not one thing when those guys are on the field together. There's a lot of multiple things that they can do. Yeah, Kyler, he's just done a really good job in this league. And so I think the cool thing is you've seen him grow each and every year in this league. And, his ability to make plays obviously has always been recognized, his ability to play in space, but his ability to play within the pocket, you just see it grow each and every year. He's able to make really good plays. He's making really good decisions with the football. I think he does a really good job of protecting it and putting them in really good situations. And it just seems like he makes these big moments in these situational football plays. And so whether it's with his legs, whether it's with his ability to scramble, deliver a pass, whatever it may be, he's a challenge for everyone.
Well, I think you were just starting your coaching career when he came out like in 2019 or maybe a year or two. And do you remember when he came out and with scouting him at all and maybe the questions about his size or like the jitterbug?
It was special on film when you watched him at Oklahoma. There was not many people catching him when he ran, and he was throwing balls over the top of coverage. And so, I don't think there was any question when he was coming out, his ability to play in the NFL. And the size thing, I think, has been de-emphasized the last few years. I think at least people have recognized that from a quarterback perspective. And so he's certainly one of those big guys who are able to kind of justify that, there's a vision thing at times, but he does an awesome job of navigating it.
Obviously, Josh Sweat's a guy that you're familiar with. Obviously from last season, what do you see from him, and do you have any memories of
Yeah, Josh just a really really good player, and obviously last year was fun because all the sacks that he created were for the positive, and this year it's going to present some challenges for us. I think his length, his size, and I think his football IQ, his ability to kind of diagnose things is really special. And certainly when I was in Dallas, when we played Philadelphia, he made some big time plays. I remember an interception, on a movement where he's the edge rusher. He made an interception off Dak and returned it, and so he can make some really special plays.
Just to clarify on Chase again, sorry, but not really a concern, right?
Yeah, he was just limited there.
He was able to finish practice out after the.
He was just limited. Yeah, he just had a little something come up, and
It's kind of a big picture question. So obviously, no one game, usually one game won't define a coach or a player. However, when you do something for the first time, it kind of feels different. And this is officially your first week one and first regular season game coming up as a head coach. I mean, how do you feel about it? How do you hope? What are your hopes and expectations for it?
I think it's everything we've talked about. Just we really want to focus on playing the right way. Obviously we want to win the game. That's everyone's objective. I think in this league, every time you go out there and compete, you want to win. But it's really about are we executing at a high level? Are we playing with the play style and the fundamentals that we preach each and every day? We want to see it come alive, and this is our first opportunity to do it as a group. I'm excited for us to kind of take this whole week journey. It's our first time in a Wednesday. We'll get to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we just got to take this thing one day at a time. And then we know how special the Dome is going to be on Sunday. It's going to be a really, really cool environment. I think the guys are excited about the uniqueness of week one, uniqueness of kind of changing up the jersey presentation a little bit. I think it's going to be a really fun atmosphere, and obviously we know how special our fans are in that Dome, and we're excited to see it.
Does it affect you personally in any way that is surprising you? I mean, I know you've been in football forever, but just you feel a different energy this week. Is it harder to sleep? I mean, is the vibe different at home or what?
No, no, not too much. No, I think you go about your routine the same way you always have. Obviously, there's different obligations when you're the head coach versus a coordinator. So there's different things you're responsible for during the week. But, all of us are really just focused in and, getting ready for Sunday.
Arizona is a 6.5-point favorite in this game. Do you think, factors like that or maybe kind of outside opinions or expectations, can you use that at all as bulletin board material for your guys and anything like that to fire them up?
I don't think we'll get too caught up in that. If guys want to see it, go for it. This is week one in the NFL, and no one could ask for a better opportunity than what we have right in front of us.
How do you guys kind of prepare when it's week one and they got a couple new guys in their front and sweat and kind of the defined unknown? How do you scout them with their previous team and just kind of project out fit? What's that look like?
I think you look at the scheme as a whole. Certainly, you're leaning on the Arizona film. You got to recognize some of these players that have gone from other places. You got to look at them from an individual level to some of their, skill set, fundamentals, those sorts of things that come up from other places. And I think the biggest thing is there is some unknown in week one. There's going to be stuff that happens that's not on film. That's the beauty of it. You trust your rules. You trust what you've done all off season. Trust your training, and then know some adjustment football may occur during the game, and that's what the great part of what this thing is all about.
Do you guys talk about if you get surprised by something, what the process will be to adjust to it? Do you guys go through coach reps or what I mean?
I think we just acknowledge that there will be a couple times where we'll have to make an adjustment to a rule, and we spend so much time through the whole offseason talking about different tools. That's what install football is about, is exposing ourselves to as many different tools, as many different schemes that we can put ourselves in, so that then we can apply them during the season. And when those present themselves, we don't always know when that comes up, but we've exposed ourselves. They understand them, and then you can make these quick adjustments as you need to in a game to put ourselves in really good situations.
Do you find that unpredictability benefits the offense or defense? Or is there?
I don't know. I haven't quantified that one. I just know it works both sides. Both sides will have elements of unknown. That's what week ones are about. It's really, at the end of the day, it's about playing really clean football. You play really clean football, fundamentally sound, you're going to put yourself in a good position. Good? Thanks, guys.
Spencer should be up shortly.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Aaron Summers.
All right. How we doing? Good, 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 good. Great, great.
What's the week like for you, getting in and preparing for it?
Sorry, one more time.
What's the week like for you so far?
Yeah, it's been good. Good first day out here on the field. I thought we obviously got some things to clean up with the first day, putting in some stuff, but flying around, loving the game plan. Just got to execute throughout the week, keep building.
I know you've been here before, having started 6 games last year, but how is it different going from training camp into being the week 1 starter for you?
Yeah, definitely a little different. Obviously more prepared. Been able to work with these guys all throughout camp and OTAs, so it's been real beneficial for me. And we're excited to get out there and show the world what we got.
What's the challenge with like some of the stuff they do in coverage and their safety rotations and that?
Yeah, they're great at disguising. They do a lot of different things, so we're gonna have to be really good at what we do, up front, out wide, at running back, everywhere. So we're gonna have to be dialed in. They're gonna obviously present a challenge. It's a good defense, and they can create some havoc, but we have to do our best to eliminate that and just execute our plays.
Is this the type of defense that you kind of just have to be sped up more to react, or is it different facing this type of defense?
We'll see when game day comes, but like I said, they're going to present a challenge. They're really good at disguising. They do a lot of different things. Obviously, have some good guys up front too, and we just have to be great at what we do, and that's communication at a high level. Have to get in and out the huddle, communicate very well, and play fast and start fast. Stay ahead of the chains.
Did you, I assume probably so, did you grow up like a Cardinals fan, Kurt Warner, stuff like, is this special in a different way just because it's maybe your hometown team?
I think it's pretty cool. Obviously grew up in Arizona. Was never like a Cardinals fan, but I always, I remember going to one of their training camps as a young kid, and obviously got a lot of respect for Kurt. Stay in touch with him, here and there, and been able to, work with him a little bit. But yeah, it's a pretty cool hometown team, and you want to go out there and have a good showing.
But also this game moved you on in Phoenix as like it's that market, right? I don't know how insulated you are from your personal life, but is that are you during game week, but are you hearing from people?
People back home?
Yeah.
Yeah, friends, family, they're excited. Got a few people coming out from Arizona, so it should be a fun environment. Looking forward to it.
Does this feel like, in a way, your real first game as a starter? Because last year you were kind of coming in and relieved for injury.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah, fresh start, new opportunity, and looking forward to attack it with these guys.
Kind of going off that, quote unquote first start, considering when you think about all the, obstacles you've overcome in your career, does that kind of make running out of the tunnel on Sunday, more special in that moment when you think about, obstacles that you've overcome so far?
What's in the past is, shapes a person for the future. So, obviously I won't be thinking about that running on the field, but, it's always special running through that tunnel and, hearing the Saints fans going crazy. So want to go in the dome and have a good showing with the guys, and we're excited.
What do you make of not being named the captain, and were you disappointed in them?
No, I'm not looking too deep into that. Obviously, the guys we have on the offensive side are very experienced, great vets on our team, and very deserving of it. So I think we picked the right guys.
Yeah, and something Kellen was saying is you don't need to see to lead. What's your approach to leading the guys, and is there an opportunity here for you to command that respect even more so? Or?
No doubt. You want to earn the respect of your teammates and fight for them because they're going to fight for you, and you don't have to be a captain to lead. I guess that's what I could say. As a quarterback, you're naturally going to be a leader, so stepping into that role fully and attacking it.
What's your relationship with Kyler Murray? How
Know him a little bit. Cross paths with him a few times. Got a lot of respect for him. Obviously, his game. He's a great player, and excited to go up against him.
What's kind of the process for bringing Bailey up to speed? Like, how quickly can you guys be like comfortably on the same page?
Yeah, he's done great. He's super smart, super reliable. For him to come in and already know, our install for this week it's pretty impressive. So he's been great. I feel like we're starting to get some chemistry down, and want to continue to build that, before the game.
How helpful is that for you guys just to have, for you to have a big target like that, third down, red zone,
Yeah.
stuff like that?
Very helpful. Having a guy like that, can go catch the ball at a high point and fight through contact and stuff like that. And we got other guys that can do that as well. But with his frame, I think he's going to be very useful for our offense.
Speaking of the install, has it been just cool this week, I guess, just kind of seeing Kellen Moore go through a game plan, kind of what you're installing? Is it kind of cool, or do you kind of sit back at times going, man, that's actually kind of a creative way of how we're going to attack, the Cardinals? Has it been that way this week for that during the preparation?
That's a good question. I mean, I think obviously he's very dialed in to what he wants to accomplish out there and makes it clear to us, gives us a clear plan, not too much clutter in our minds, and he wants us to play free, play fast, and I love that. I think that fits us well, and he's going to put us in the right situation. We just got to execute.
Does that give you confidence, because of, his pedigree, how he calls plays? Is that does it feel like you're prepared to go out there?
No doubt. Yeah, definitely feel prepared, and we're going to keep building throughout this week. Got a few more days, and just want to finish strong throughout the week.
Putting together that final call sheet, will you guys get together and kind of collaborate on hey, I like this, I feel real comfortable about that? What's that going to look like?
I'm sure he will. Whatever. I'm sure he doesn't want a QB that's a yes man that says you like this, yes. There's going to be some stuff obviously you want to tweak, and maybe some stuff you don't see right or feel in your footwork, but we'll get to that at the end of the week. I think he's done an amazing job communicating with us earlier on this week, and we'll keep going throughout the week.
As you went along last year, was that something that you find yourself becoming more comfortable to express? Were you the yes man at first?
Yeah, I mean, I think as a younger guy, you want to just do what you're told and try to execute the play at its highest level. But sometimes you're not going to feel something right with your footwork here, your eyes, the vision, timing. So I think you got the ball in your hand every play. You want to be super confident, super comfortable with what you're doing.
How would you describe where your emotional level is right now? I'm guessing on Wednesday you're trying to keep it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keep it in check. But I mean, obviously it's a huge deal starting the first game of an NFL season.
Yeah.
How would you describe where you are right now?
Yeah, I feel I'm just taking it day by day, staying in the moment. We don't want to look too. That's something we've been preaching: is the game's not today, game's not tomorrow. Let's be our best each day we can and keep building, and then go into the game and have the plan ready, play free, play fast. And but yeah, I mean, obviously there's going to be some emotions going into the stadium on Sunday, and everybody's going to be fired up. I think the energy will be super high, and it's another great opportunity that we're all looking forward to.
How much better does it feel knowing you're going into a game and you're not going to be down 8 starters? Just kind of knowing that
Yeah.
you got the guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Having a full stable of guys is great. Up front, out wide, really on both sides of the ball. I think it's gives you confidence in what we can do, and obviously we have the talent, we got the guys, and now we just got to go out there and do it.
This is a very dumb question, but can you tell the difference in these guys are back?
Yeah. I mean, even throughout camp, it's just obviously those are our guys, those are our top guys, and you want to get them the rock, and they've been doing a great job.
To that point, just rotating every day through camp, maybe not getting as many reps with those guys. How big of a jump do you feel like you guys have made this last week, being with some of these guys?
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of reps with them throughout camp, so it felt good building then. But now, like you said, it's a lot more reps, so especially with game planning and stuff like that, it's good to get all that in. This past week or however long it's been.
How much of an emphasis has there been on, just kind of staying out of 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15, having positive plays early in drives? Obviously, there was a lot of sacks last year. How much of an emphasis has it been to just kind of stacking positive?
Yeah, on top of that and protecting the ball, those are probably the two biggest things. Moving the chains, staying out of 3rd and longs. It's hard. You're in 3rd and 9+ in this league. It's low percentage you're going to get it. So, getting positive plays on 1st and 2nd down, running the ball, throwing the ball, whatever we got to do. That's what we have to do to give ourselves a chance.
With the way you've used your legs, has that been something that you've worked on in terms of a plan, or is that more kind of reactive? Can you go in with a plan of hey, if I don't like this look, I can go. How do you approach that?
Yeah, I mean, good question. A little bit of both, I would say. Kind of just like a natural feel for it, and then obviously you want to pick your moments to do it.
How conscious are you of Buda Baker every play? Is that almost where you start?
You have to know where he's at. He's super active. He's like a bullet coming out of the back end, and he causes a lot of havoc. Great tackler, and yeah, obviously a great player. We got to know where he's at all times.
What's been the result for you spot after spending an offseason doing things like those call-it periods, a lot of situational work, things like that? What's kind of been the impact of that or the value of it?
Yeah, I think we've banked so many reps on that, every situation you could think of, and I think it helps getting it done in practice and throughout the off season, and then obviously rolling into game day with it. You'll always be in some sort of situation in a game, if it's end of half, if it's backed up, and end of game, you name it. So, we definitely get reps at all of that, and credit to our coaches for making us do that. It's great.
I know Alvin only played one play in the preseason. I forgot last year because of all the injuries, how many games you all actually on the field together last year. But this is the first time he was actually voted the captain. Last year they just named him the captain.
Yeah.
Rizzi took over. Is he like a safety blanket for you, or how comforting is it to know that he's a captain, he's an established player, there's a lot of uncertainty, maybe I can lean into him?
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy, obviously one of the best in the league. Captain of our, one of the captains on our team. He's a great vet for me and everybody else on the team, and obviously super dynamic player. And it is kind of like if nothing's there, you get it down to him. He'll make something happen. So, definitely want to get him the ball and get him rolling. Thank you.